I finally said her name. Dubai is in total shock. The night air of Dubai was heavy, still, and whispering secrets that the stars refused to keep. From the balcony of the royal palace, I could see the city lights shimmering like diamonds fallen from heaven. But beneath their glow, my heart carried a truth I had hidden for too long. Her name. For years it lingered in silence, between unspoken words, beneath royal obligations, and inside poems that no one was ever meant to read. Tonight I finally said it. Aliyah. The sound broke something within me. It was soft, trembling, yet powerful enough to shake the calm walls of my destiny. The guards outside might not have heard it, but the wind did. It carried her name like a confession across the sleeping city. I thought I had buried her memory beneath duty and distance. But love is a stubborn thing. It lives in the cracks of your heart, waiting for one moment of weakness to bloom again. Aliyah wasn't royalty. She wasn't born to walk marble halls or dine beneath golden chandeliers. She was the daughter of a desert falconer, a poet's muse with sand on her skin and fire in her soul. She never bowed her head to power, only to love. And perhaps that is what frightened everyone most. When we met, it was not in a ballroom, but beneath the open sky of Al-Qudra. She was feeding her father's hawk, and I, disguised, nameless, watched her laugh as the bird soared. I remember thinking, if freedom had a face, it would look like hers. That night changed everything. She didn't know who I was. She didn't care. And for the first time, neither did I. But love in Dubai's royal walls is never just love, it's politics, reputation, legacy. And when whispers began, "The prince and the falconer's daughter," the storm came swiftly. She was sent away before I could speak, before I could fight, before I could say her name aloud, until now. Tonight, years later, I stood before my father's portrait, the ruler of Dubai, the man who built this empire, and I whispered the one truth I had kept from him. I loved her. I still do. The echo seemed to move through the marble floors, the golden corridors, and the very heart of the palace. For a moment, even time paused to listen. But love has a way of returning when you least expect it. This morning, I received a letter, no seal, no name, just a few words written in the handwriting I could never forget. You once promised to find me if I ever left. I waited, but perhaps now it is I who must find you. I read it again and again until the ink began to blur. My pulse raced, my thoughts tangled between memory and hope. Could it be her? After all these years? Outside, the muezzin's call for Fajr echoed softly through the sleeping city. The dawn light spread over the desert, and with it came a quiet realization. Dubai would never be the same after tonight. Because I, Sheikh Hamdan, son of Mohammed, crowned Prince of Dubai, had finally said her name. And when a prince breaks, the sun rose like molten gold over the dunes, spilling its light across the silent city. But inside my chest, the storm had already begun. The letter lay on my desk, its edges slightly torn by my trembling fingers. I had read it 10 times, maybe more, yet every word still struck me like lightning. You once promised to find me if I ever left. I waited. But perhaps now it is I who must find you, Aliyah. No one else wrote like that. Soft but strong, gentle but daring. Her words carried a rhythm, a music only my heart could understand. I sent my guards away. This was not a royal matter. This was mine. As the morning light poured through the palace windows, I sat alone with memories that refused to fade. I remembered the last time I saw her, standing by the stables, her scarf fluttering in the wind like a white flag of surrender. She didn't cry. She didn't beg. She only said, "Don't forget what freedom feels like." But I did forget. I forgot everything, her voice, her laughter, the scent of the desert after rain, because I had to. Because being a prince sometimes means being a prisoner of your own bloodline. Until now. Now she was back. Somewhere out there in the dunes of Dubai, the woman I once loved, perhaps still love, was waiting. I ordered my horse Zahir to be prepared. No convoy, no guards. Just me in the desert like before. As I rode beyond the palace walls, the city faded behind me, its skyscrapers melting into the golden horizon. The wind stung my face, carrying whispers of the past. I followed the old trail toward Al-Qudra, the place where it all began. Hours passed. The sun burned, the air shimmered, but I didn't stop. My heart was chasing something my crown could never reach. And then I saw it. A small camp near the edge of the dunes. A single tent, pale against the sand. A falcon perched on a wooden post, just like before. My breath caught. I dismounted quietly, every step heavy with memory. As I approached, the tent flap moved, and there she was, Aliyah. Time had not stolen her grace. She looked older, wiser, her eyes softer but deeper, like the desert after a storm. She didn't seem surprised to see me. Instead, she smiled, that same calm, knowing smile. "You found me," she said simply. "No," I whispered, my voice breaking. "You found me." For a moment, the world fell silent. The wind stopped, the falcon turned its head, and the sun itself seemed to bow between us. "I heard your name last night," she said. "The city is talking. They say the prince has spoken of a woman who was never meant to be named." I smiled faintly. "Let them talk. For once I don't care what the city thinks." Aliyah stepped closer, her hand brushing against mine. It was like touching fire and memory at once. "Do you still write?" she asked. "Every night," I said. "But the poems stopped making sense after you left." She looked at me then, and I could see tears glimmering in her eyes. "Maybe they'll make sense again if we write them together,"